Hi, I'm Kevin Andrew, and I'm the co-director of Alumni and Student Connections at PLU. And today I'm joined by a PLU alum, Amber Morley Rieke. Welcome, Amber.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amber, to start off today, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Sure. So I guess the relevant place to start is that I went to PLU. I graduated with my degree in 2007. I majored in religion with minors in history and women's and gender studies. From there, I moved to the Bay Area, California, where I spent a few years, including a year I did with AmeriCorps, doing a term of service with AmeriCorps, and then have been in Washington, D.C. for the past 10 years. I got my Master of Public Health degree from the George Washington University, and I've been working in public health policy. So now I work for a group of hospitals and health centers in DC that are working to achieve community health and equity goals. And I have two little boys who are, might run in at any moment, who are 2 and 4.
Wonderful. Thank you again for taking the time today. And my first question is, during this very unique time, how do you find a good balance between work life and home life?
I think that's a great question. And if anyone has a great answer, I would love to hear from them. I think I've stopped thinking about it even before the pandemic. I've stopped trying to pursue a balance because I'm just not sure that a literal balance is possible. But I believe very strongly in boundaries. And so always trying to create some boundaries between work life and literally the time I'm spending at work, the time I'm responsive and available for work, versus when I'm at home and when I'm really trying to be present and at home. Because if I'm trying to do everything at once, I'm not really doing anything well, I have found for myself. So especially during this time when I'm literally working in a bedroom and our kids are not at school, and we've got 2 working adults in the house trying to trade off just creating some reliability. And these are my office hours. This is when I'm at work. My colleagues know when I am and when I'm not available for responses or calls. Trying to keep up good email hygiene. So I'm not sending emails to my colleagues at 9 p.m. at night, even though that might be when I'm sneaking in work. I won't hit send until it's an appropriate time for them. And trying to increase a lot of clarity around when I'm available, and also ruthlessly prioritizing tasks and expectations. So when is this due? I'm seeing a lot of things adding up on my to-do list, and I'm just going to be honest, I don't see that that's going to happen. So what do we need first and what can wait? And trying to also, when I'm giving assignments or delegating, trying to also be really clear about what's the priority and what can wait. And also saying no to things. That's something that's just had to become even more normal. And I think everyone has sort of had to lower their expectations of each other and their employees. The other thing I will say that might not be popular, I don't think we need to do as many video calls. Suddenly every conference call has become a video call, and it takes a lot of time and attention to be on a video call, especially when you're trying to juggle a lot of things, or you've tried to like fit in a workout between 2 video calls and you're looking pretty disheveled. So those are sort of the boundaries that I've tried to create with work. And then with life, like I have literally made a sticker chart for myself to take my vitamins, to exercise, to make a social connection, to make sure I'm actually getting true self-care, like the basics done. They have to go on my to-do list. They have to go on my calendar. And at one point I did make a sticker chart because things got a little bit out of control. So that's how we're managing right now. We'll see how sustainable it is for the long haul.
Oh, wonderful. I like the idea of boundaries. So I like that as the concept. And then just as a follow-up to that, how do you just shift your mindset? So, having to, you mentioned you're good about not emailing colleagues in the middle of the night and things like that. But just when you make that shift that I'm here in this work mode, and then I have to shift over to the other side because somebody else is going to move into the desk and do some work or something.
Yeah, that's actually hard. And for little kids, transitions are hard too. So sometimes I'll come downstairs and they see me and it's just chaos for, 10 or 15 minutes. So I think that might be the hardest part of it, is the transition, or trying to, if I'm sitting in my room and I'm doing a email or editing a document or something, to not see the laundry that's piling up behind me or all of the other tasks that I need to get done. I think that's just taken a little bit of practice.
Great. Amber, how can students, our recent graduates, and alumni work with an employer to facilitate this good balance?
I think that's hard, and it definitely depends on the kind of job you're in. So I'm talking about a job that I can very easily do remotely, and I know that that's a privilege, and it's really hard to do when you don't have as much autonomy or control over your schedule or your duties, or what you can say no to. But I think that when it's possible, to be a good colleague and understand when other folks might be struggling or need some help or need their boundaries respected more is helpful. Something you can do with your team, with your colleagues. And then trying to manage up. I know that's a pretty corporate term, but try to help set the boundaries for yourself. Try to help your employer through your explicitness about what your boundaries are. Try to help them normalize those boundaries. And then, if you notice that one of your colleagues maybe needs some more support, try to speak up for them. Because I think especially for parents, and maybe especially for working women, there's always been the difficulty, like, we are penalized if we talk our life obligations, our family obligations. So I think that there's a lot of stigma around, especially a working woman speaking up about her boundaries and her needs. And so having allies on your team can be really helpful. And I also think employers can do more to maybe normalize the conversation around mental health right now, and trying to send resources. Like, what does your employer's insurance cover as far as telehealth visits and mental health? Like, an employer can do a lot, or maybe it comes from the HR department, or maybe just an interested employee who's going to share that resource with their group. I think that needs to happen right now.
Well, that's wonderful insight. Thank you so much. Again, I really appreciate you taking time and having this conversation with me, centered around these questions and the importance of this balance. And all the best to you in Washington, D.C.
Thank you so much. Be well.